raised quite a few beans over here, but most of the time we raised lots of beans in western Nebraska, and that was a good crop over there. But when we moved over here, we found out that beans would grow pretty good, but so did the bindweed. And the bindweed, to hold the beans, you couldn't get it, kill the bindweed, or you'd kill the beans. And so we had to resort to some older-fashioned ways of doing the bean harvest. So we ended up using a cutter. The bean cutters are pulled by our team of horses, or old Toots and Jack the mule. There's Daddy's running the bean cutter. But we had to do an awful lot of the work by hand there with it, because of the bindweed mainly.
How does it cut the beans?
There's a knife that scoots along there. It rides down just under the ground, and then there's some tines that brings the beans together.
You go back and pick it up?
And we got to go, when we went out, and we pile them up in piles so they'll be easier to pick up later. In Nebraska, we always used a side delivery rake, but over here we didn't dare use a side delivery rake. It'd shell all the beans out, trying to pull the beans through the bindweed. And so these here look like they picked it up pretty good, but we were trying to save all the beans we could. Times are a little hard at them days. So here we used to go out in the combine and just pick them up in the field, but this here saved more beans. It'd shell out quite a few beans doing that. You'd lose a lot. So we went to an old-fashioned way, like, and hauled them in and pitched them into the combine and used the combine like they used to an old thrashing machine.
How many years did you do beans over here?
You know, I don't remember how many years we done beans here. It was 6 or 7 or 5 or 8. I don't. We'd raise a few beans every year for a while there, because it still was a cash crop. Then we got started selling whole milk, and so it could get by planting corn and barley, and that'd all go back into the cows then, and we'd sell milk, and that's the income then was from milk.
These beans are pretty dark.
The reason those were so black there, that we had a lot of rain after we got them all piled up by hand, and then it rained real hard, and it just rained and rained and rained. When we finally was able to combine them, they were all turned black, and the beans were colored, and so we ended up we had trouble selling the beans to begin with. Ended up selling them hauled them to Alt, to Matthew's beanery over there, and Alt, and they bought them and shipped them all to Mexico. They said the Mexican people down there would just cook all the beans. They didn't bother to sort out the colored ones or the black ones or the bad ones. Probably it's just as nourishing. This here is where we dumped it. The pickup would go up on a sloping sideways. Oh, this here's Shields, looking south on Shield Street. When it's the old gravel road. They're right by our place there.